Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Dynamics Corner, the podcast where we dive deep into all things Microsoft Dynamics. Whether you're a seasoned expert or just starting your journey into the world of Dynamics 365, this is your place to gain insights, learn new tricks, and hear from industry experts. I'm your co-host, Kris.
And this is Brad. This episode was recorded on April 10th, 2024. Kris. Look what I'm wearing. I had to change the attire for today's recording.
Nice.
Just a couple days ago. March Madness.
Congrats to the team.
Congrats to the team. Back to back. UConn. I have to admit I didn't watch the game because it was on past my bedtime, so I watched the highlights the next morning. They need to make the game earlier.
Just the highlights.
That's what happens when you're old. But another episode, another great episode, truly inspirational story. You get to hear how an individual transitioned into what we call the Microsoft Dynamics 365 Power Platform space. With us today, we had the opportunity to hear about the successful journey of Rachel Irabor. Rachel, good afternoon. How are you doing?
I'm good. It's actually evening yet, so good evening.
Oh, good evening. That's right. I forget about that time zone thing.
Well,
it looks
your
so
sweater
bright.
says Montana, so I thought maybe Montana. Afternoon.
It's actually
Montana.
hot. Yeah.
Nice.
Speaking of Montana, but really not Montana, Kris, did you see what I was wearing?
UConn, yes.
Yeah,
UConn
Yeah,
Huskies. Men's March Madness.
Yeah, I don't even know what is written on mine. Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
Rachel, thank you for taking the time to speak with us today. We've been looking forward to speaking with you. And I do believe that I saw something yesterday that you posted, and I have to say congratulations.
Congrats.
Thank you.
It's well-deserved. Oh, wait. See, Kris, I always forget to do the sound effects, but we'll do it again. Say, we'll practice, Kris. Ready? You can keep it in, but we'll just say, congratulations.
Yep.
Yeah, congrats.
There you go.
Yeah.
See, you give me a soundboard and I don't know what to do. But congratulations.
Yeah.
I saw yesterday that you had mentioned that you had received your MVP for which
Microsoft
was
at Power Apps and Power Automate for business application. Yeah.
Business application, Power Automate. Great. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Before we get into the conversation, we have a lot of questions and like to hear a lot about all the things that you do. We've been seeing quite a bit from you and a lot of content that you're sharing. Would you mind telling everyone who's listening and a little bit about yourself?
Okay, so hi everyone. I'm happy to be here. My name is Rachel Irabor. I'm a Microsoft MVP. I think getting the award makes it more real now. So that's awesome. Because I was kind of doubting that. So I'm a Microsoft MVP. I'm a Power Platform and Dynamics 365 CRM developer. I love contributing to the community because it's like an avenue for me to also learn. And so it's awesome.
That's great.
And I live in Malta.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Malta, Kris and I were having a conversation after we spoke last.
Yeah.
And I didn't even I pay attention to it, but I don't think geographically sometimes.
Yeah.
But where is Malta?
It's very close to Sicily. They're like very close to Italy. It's like a very small island, like a sea everywhere. You have if you go to my balcony right now, it's just have a sea view. It's beautiful.
Wow.
But Malta is very small. Yeah.
So it's a small island just off of the Italy coast in Sicily. Is it part of Italy?
No, it's not. It's a country on its own. Yeah.
It's a country on its own. See that?
Yes.
I like I said, it didn't register with me until Kris was talking with me about it.
Yeah.
How big is Malta?
I think I can go from the beginning to the end of Malta.
What is the population of Malta?
I have no idea what's the population, but I don't think they're that much. I'm from Nigeria, so the city I was staying in Nigeria, it's like bigger than the whole Malta. It's just, yeah. It's
Wow.
just, I think a region inside of the city is bigger than the whole Malta.
I have to put this on I have to put this on the trip to visit or something.
Yeah, it's
Because I'm
beautiful
interested.
though.
It
Yeah,
sounds beautiful. I mean, I like the ocean and
yeah,
the islands where you have access to the ocean, as you had mentioned, and even having a view is amazing.
yeah.
So you work with Power Platform and Dynamics 365 CRM. Did you start working
Yes.
with that before you moved to Malta, or did you start working with that while you were in Malta?
Okay, I with Dynamics 365 CRM, I started working with that when I got to Malta. But for Power Platform, I started like learning, training, and stuff like that with Power Platform before I got to Malta.
How
Yeah.
long have you been working with Power Platform?
I can say my learning journey started in 2021 November or December, between those periods. So I can say from then I started working with Power Platform. Yeah.
Excellent. And with the Power Platform, now I see. Now I'm going back to this Malta. I'm stuck on the Malta. Are there a lot of people using Power Platform and CRM in Malta, or most
Funny
of
enough,
the?
there are a lot of persons. I There was a time I went out with colleagues and we went to a like a big a mall, and they sell furniture, stuff like that. And we noticed on their system they were using F&O, which is finance and operation. Yeah.
I
So
see.
yeah, so here in Malta we have because we also have a user group here in Malta, so we have more of Dynamics 365 CRM, and with being a Dynamics 365 CRM, we mostly use Power Platform. So then another space that we also have here also is finance and operation. I think they have more finance and operation than any other Dynamics platform.
Okay, so you started working with the Dynamics 365 environment or space, I'll call it, back in
Yeah,
2021, and here we are in 2024 at the time of this recording. And in that
yeah,
journey, you've already received your MVP. You do a
yeah,
lot of things. That's it's an amazing and inspirational story
yeah.
because
What's up?
I first started seeing a lot of the content that you had posted maybe a year or two ago, or
Wow,
about a year ago.
that's a long
Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to
time.
listen. You get older like me. A year feels like a day, so it's very tough for me to tell time. But it's been quite a bit
Yeah,
of time, and you try to contribute a lot of content to the community, which is good to share a
yeah,
positive message, which I appreciate and
yeah.
enjoy.
Thank you.
How did you get into Power Platform? What tools, what avenues did you use to get your Power Platform journey started? And
Okay,
what
with me.
drove you to do that as well?
Okay, I think the
Mm-hmm.
first thing that drove me into Power Platform, I was trying to be independent, like not being like reaching out to my parents all the time to ask them for money for everything I need. Yeah, so I had a YouTube channel before, just doing exercise and stuff like that, and I also did baking. I was doing a lot of things, but what was stopping me from continuing was actually money, because when you start any business or do anything, you need money to like push them forward. So a friend actually told me about that there's a boot camp, because I was staying in Benin City, a city in Nigeria. So I was staying there, and she told me that there is a boot camp called Power Platform Boot Camp that she's planning to attend if I can take the assessment so that I can join. So I took the assessment, I passed, and I started the boot camp. So that's how I got to know about Power Platform. And even before then, I think before then, I really had no idea about tech. Like, okay, I know there's tech, you have laptops. Obviously, something is happening behind that. But I had no idea that tech is something that anybody could come into, especially in the different parts of the world that I was in. I had no idea that, okay, anybody can come into tech, and there are actually careers in tech. So getting to know about Power Platform and seeing how easy it was for me to build applications without knowing how to code during the bootcamp, being able to create flows, chatbots, and I created a dashboard. It was really, really bad. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah.
So you were
impressive.
driven to it. You mentioned you bake. I like to eat. So if you ever want to
Yeah.
bake and send it to me, please do so.
Yeah.
And asking your parents for money may be a good thing. I wish I still
Yeah.
could do that because it would make things much easier for me. But
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
but your journey started with a Power Platform boot camp. You
Yes.
took an assessment to get into the boot camp. And
Yeah.
how long of a boot camp was this that you had gone through?
It was for 10 days.
10
I
days?
think the last 3 days of it, they divide us into groups where you have to prepare for a presentation. Like you have to do a presentation. You just have to, I think it's more of a guide to know how to solve business problem with Power Platform. So we're divided into groups and we're told to try and solve a problem with Power Platform. So yeah, so it was 10 days I got
So
to.
it sounded like a hands-on Power Platform boot camp, and it was in
Yes,
person, correct? It sounds like it was in
yes, in
person, so that
person. Yeah,
and I'd like to hear what you had mentioned, that they focused also on how to solve business problems, because I think
yes,
using technology, as you had mentioned, one of the primary focuses, or the primary focus, in my opinion, is to
yeah,
use technology to solve business problems. So
yes,
I think a boot camp, obviously, with you and your progression and your journey, that
yeah,
covers both the application, technology, and business, what I
yes,
call real world experience,
yeah.
is a good start. So after your journey, you've completed successfully the Power Platform boot
Yeah, the
camp.
boot camp. Yeah.
What happened when you set foot out of that classroom or out of that training room and into the world?
I think it was not easy, but there's something that actually helped me a lot was David Abu. He's a cloud advocate with Microsoft. There was something he said during the boot camp. He said we should try and post online. He said we should try and post online concerning what we are learning. And also, if we have any questions, we should ask them online. So that really helped me a lot to be able to at least come into the world and see what is happening. So because I had a Twitter account, but I was just coming in, looking and just leaving. So I started posting online. And when I started the posting, it was during the boot camp because they give us assignments every day and you have to submit the assignment. And how can you submit the assignment? You have to submit the assignment online with using hashtags. So that really got me started. Yeah. So that really got me started. And I think I had different difficulties after the boot camp because then in Nigeria, I was not really seeing much persons who were into Power Platform. So you
So
have,
posting it
yeah,
online is a skill set that they kind of not necessarily force, but kind of give you an opportunity because it allowed you to network outside
yeah,
of the localization area.
yes, it did. Yeah,
So it was great. It sounded like you had some help or mentorship to get you started in the right direction in communicating with others online.
yeah.
Which platforms do you use to share and gain further information and connect with other individuals with similar interests?
Okay, I'm actually everywhere. But when I
I do
started,
see you everywhere.
when I started, I was using I don't know if you have heard of Textilers. It's a,
Uh,
it's a community for women on Microsoft technology. So I was posting there. I was also posting on LinkedIn, on Twitter. Then later on, when I started my YouTube channel, I started posting on Reddit. I was like every corner. Yeah, yeah,
Reddit is one thing that I've never used. I think occasionally I search for something and a
yeah,
Reddit post will come up, but I don't think I've ever jumped into that Reddit world. But I
yeah,
do, and that's where I see most of your content, and you could see the evolution. This is why we were interested in speaking with you, where
yes,
you started off in your journey
yeah,
looking for assistance. It sounds like you had some great mentorship, which is important
yeah,
for
sure.
individuals such as yourself who are just starting out. It's not easy sometimes to know where
Yeah,
to go. So to have a
yeah,
little guidance
definitely.
is important, which I see you doing that as well too, which I
Yeah,
think is inspirational. It's nice to see that whole pay it forward.
yeah,
It's somebody helped guide you
yes,
because we all need to learn. We all have to start somewhere,
definitely,
and then to
definitely.
also be able to turn it around and do that same thing
Yeah,
is great.
yeah,
But You do some great things. So
Thank
now
you.
we move it back up. It's you do also now have YouTube. Do you still stick with your YouTube?
Yeah, I do. I stick with my YouTube. I actually have a podcast too where I invite people in the community to talk about Microsoft technology. And the reason why I started the YouTube channel was then I was not looking for a job then, but I was more of learning. Like when you learn, you get to notice the weaknesses you have, like what things can you not do, what things are you lacking, stuff like that. So I
I
noticed
love
that
that.
I'm not a very yeah. So I noticed I'm not a very good speaker. Like when if we're speaking right now, because then when I started attending Twitter spaces. I was listening to other people speak, and if I had any questions, I was scared to actually request the mic to ask questions. Or if you call my name, it's like the word that's fallen on top of my head. Yeah. So I was like, okay, how can I improve on this? I was okay. Why not start with a YouTube channel and start from there? Yeah.
It is. It's a good way to learn. It's a good way to build confidence to
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
to start avenues such as that, and to embrace and approach what I would call your fears, which is what you're doing, which I think is inspirational. And to come from, you had mentioned a portion of the world where you didn't have a lot of exposure from to technology, to now working with technology is great. And putting yourself out there, I find, is the best way to learn, because you other members of the community will help you, but you also build confidence. And when you have the confidence, you also begin to learn. And then as part of that, confidence and learning, your journey can continue and skyrocket. And some of the things that you may not be adventurous to do, you do. So you have a podcast. What is the podcast called?
It's called A Girl in Love with Tech podcast. How I came up with the name is that I have a medium profile where I post blog. Like I post maybe I'm working through a solution right now and I had any issue. I'll just maybe if somebody helps me or I'm able to fix it later on, I just write about it and post it on Medium. So I wrote on my profile on Medium, A Girl in Love with Tech, just a girl in love with tech. So I was like, okay, I can name the podcast A Girl in Love with Tech. Yeah.
No, that's good. We have to encourage everyone to listen to that, to support your podcast.
Yeah.
So now you're working with Power Platform and Dynamics CRM. Are you working independently? You're working for a company?
I'm working for a company. Yeah.
Okay, you're working for a company.
Yes.
And anyone that may want to follow a similar journey and possibly may be new to the world of business, or somebody that may have been working in business for a long period of time and they're looking for a change in career, what advice would you give someone to take that step to switch to learn Power Platform or Dynamic CRM development? And also, any advice or thoughts on how to have those opportunities after you learn that, so that you can jump into the world and now take your new knowledge and do it for work?
Yeah, okay. I think if it's about transferring from a different career into either Power Platform or Dynamics, because me, I came from a background that I was not actually working, I was a student. So if it's for a person that's actually transferring from a career, I would say because Power Platform, you can easily transfer your skills into Power Platform. Because with me being Power Platform right now, I'm learning Azure DevOps, I'm learning how to design, how to solve business problems, different things, you understand? So if, for instance, maybe you're a nurse or you're in the medical part of you're in the medical career part, you can easily transfer your skills into Power Platform because I know that there's a health part of Power Platform where people work with health on Power Platform. So you can easily just transfer your skills into Power Platform, both your soft skills and any other thing, you can just transfer it into Power Platform. And I think one other thing too is that nothing is impossible. So nothing is impossible. Yeah. You just have to be intentional. Like you need to have plans. Okay, where do I see myself in the next 6 months? And know where you want to be consistent with what you want, and don't what I think one other thing too that is very important is don't compare yourself with others. Just compare you with
Yes.
your compare you with your yesterday. Like how was I?
That's
Yeah.
right.
That
That's right.
is
Love it. Perfect.
That right there, I am happy that you have that, because it's a race against yourself
Yes.
and no one else.
Yes.
If you try to be someone else, you'll always, in my opinion, feel disappointed. Whereas if you just compare it against yourself, if you are what you measure as better than yesterday, again, everybody has their own measurements, and it goes back to the confidence. That's what's important, is your self-improvement, the confidence in yourself to move forward. So that, see, this right here,
You also
have to.
You also hit a key element too. Like, sorry, Brad, because it's almost like every guest that we've had, throughout the years that we've had this podcast, they're all very successful, and one that sticks to me, at least, is the word consistency. And it was just like, once you put that out there, once you mention that, I'm like, right there. That's why, the growth that you have is you're consistent. You're willing to go out of your comfort zone, because you need to learn, and your weakness, and your strength, and you're working through that. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
The way you put it, it's perfect.
Yeah, sure. I think one other thing too is that don't be like, there are sometimes, especially when you're learning a technology from scratch, or you're coming from a different, maybe part of the world, or a different career path, and you don't really know what is happening, you don't know what you are doing, and you have that feeling that, okay, I'm not enough. You have that feeling that, okay, I'm not brilliant enough to be able to follow this career path. Everybody started from somewhere. If you are building a house, you have to start from the foundation. So why not learn the foundation of that particular platform? Yeah, and see how it goes. So I think that there are a lot of things that comes into it. While working on your technical skills, also work on your soft skills. Work on public speaking, work on presentation, because even when you start working, you have to speak to people. You have to talk to your colleagues. You have to talk to clients, depending on the area of Power Platform or Dynamics, either a developer, a consultant, or whatsoever part you want to be in. You have to talk to people. So you have to learn you have to learn public speaking. You have to learn empathy, being able to put yourself in people's shoes. Because I've seen a lot of persons that most times they might just send you a message on Twitter, and maybe for a few days you do not reply to them, they'll start talking to you rudely. Yeah. So
No, that's unfortunate. But again, you have some great advice. And also turn challenges into opportunities. It's you try, and again, you had mentioned communication's important, having the confidence, all the things that you had mentioned to me. What I hear you saying, you have a great message, is have confidence in yourself and know that you can achieve what you want to achieve.
Yeah, I think one other thing, to be your biggest supporter, you don't have to wait for people to actually praise you, or wait for people to, like, how will I put this English now? Because most persons, they think that people have to put them on I'm thinking of how to put the English. Yeah,
Pedestal.
thank you. So you have to be your biggest supporter. You don't have to wait for people to praise you, to tell you that you're doing this, you're doing that. You just have to move on. Take it one step at a time. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
if someone isn't, interested in what you're doing, or has negative comments, just put them out of your mind. That's how I look at it. And like
Keep
you had
going.
said, put yourself on the pedestal. And learn, Kris, the empathy piece I have to learn. See, now Rachel had put that it's on the list. I have to put that on my list, to have that empathy, to push myself forward. So now with public speaking, I do believe that you are going to be speaking soon.
Yes, I am. Yeah,
Where are you going to be speaking?
I'll be speaking at Hamburg this month. I think that was on the 17th or 18th of this month. For
Which conference is that?
Color Cloud. Yeah, so
And which topic will you be presenting?
I think I'll be presenting on Dynamics 365. I have the slide open on my system right now. Unlocking CRM with Power Platform Magic. Yeah.
Oh, I'd like that title. So you'll be in Hamburg this month.
Yes.
Then I know that you'll have a few other speaking engagements. Where else will you be speaking?
I'll also be speaking
So you're going from just learning all of this to now speaking at conferences for others to learn from you, which is definitely an inspirational journey.
Yeah, I think a lot of persons, they have, especially when it comes to speaking, when it comes to a presentation of a particular topic, they feel that they have to speak on something very complex. Because since when I started my journey, everything I've been speaking about is introductory topics. So they think that, okay, I have to speak about something that looks very big, looks complex, stuff like that. So you can start from anywhere, you can speak on anything. Because even me, when I started my journey, 3 months into my journey, I started speaking, but it was mostly for visual events. Yeah.
You mentioned a key point, and it goes back with the confidence, because if you're going to speak somewhere, it doesn't have to be, as you had mentioned, I'm just repeating it, just a complicated or complex or advanced topic, because it's what you're comfortable with, but also other individuals need to learn somewhere. So having that basic content, or what you were referring to as not advanced content, is beneficial as well. So have the courage to talk about and share and talk about some of the basic things that you know, because others may also learn from it. So no, it's excellent. I'm still waiting to hear. There's a specific conference I'm looking for you to
Denver,
mention.
and Dynamics Live.
Denver.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm
So
I'm presenting with Julie Yak. Yeah, next month.
Okay.
What, and is it the same topic, or is it a different topic? Oh, that's excellent. And I'm excited for that one, because we will have the opportunity to meet you in person. Both Kris and I will be there, along with several others from the community, all the way from Malta via Hamburg. You have some travel to go through. So you'll meet with us in Denver, Colorado in the United States. So I'm looking forward to both meeting you and seeing your presentation as well. So it's exciting. It's exciting.
It will be my first time in the United States, so I'm pretty excited.
Oh, excellent. Will you be spending additional time in the United States, or will you just have a short time for the conference?
I'm thinking of going to Microsoft Build. I don't know how it will go yet, so I'm just waiting to see how it will turn up. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. I hope you enjoy your first trip to the United States. So it's your first visit, as well as speaking at a conference. So along with what you're doing, sharing your message and sharing your journey, and also with the podcast, you have your blog information, your Medium information that you're doing. What other inspirational words do you have for others that are looking to learn Power Platform, or to jump in to learn a new technology?
I think the first thing is joining a community, because it's not easy learning alone. You need to be a part of a community, because when you are stuck in a particular issue or a particular solution, you have people you can reach out to, or you can even just paste it. Maybe you are shy to paste it in Twitter or LinkedIn. You can just paste it on a WhatsApp group, or message people personally to tell them that, okay, I have this question. Do you have any idea how I can solve this? And if you're looking into Power Platform has communities online that you can just go to the community online, a website, and ask your questions, and definitely people will respond.
Have you worked with Power Platform and Business Central at all?
No, I've not worked with Business Central.
Okay. I just had to throw that in there.
Hey, you just give her a few months, she'll learn everything about Business Central. That's a challenge.
Based on her journey, I don't have any doubt. I have a feeling that when we speak with her in Denver, she'll tell us she'll teach us how to use Business Central and integrate Power Platform with it as well.
Fingers crossed.
It's.
I said fingers crossed.
Well, you can do it. You don't have. You have shown that you can do it. And your fingers don't need to be crossed, because I know that you can do it. And I think it's amazing the journey that you have undertaken, and also now that you're sharing it so that others can see and understand that you can do it, which is important. And that's one of the things that inspired me with seeing the information that you share. Is I enjoy that, seeing individuals join the community, then advance in the community, just through it's just through hard work and not being disappointed.
Sure.
I'm sure it's not always easy, but
definitely not easy.
you turn the challenges into opportunities, as I say, and you can see that
Yes.
you become extremely successful. So now you have a podcast.
Yes, I do.
Okay. So now we'll give you the opportunity to ask us questions. We'll pretend you're on your podcast.
Okay, I know you do.
We're gonna turn this around,
Okay, I
right?
know you both,
Turn it around.
Yeah, I think I know you both do Business Central. Have you dabbled
Yes.
into Power
Yes.
Platform? Have you crossed into Power Platform a bit?
I have for quite a bit. I have, but it's not my main focus. But yes, there are lots of opportunities through Power Platform.
Yeah.
I have touched
Okay.
upon it. I know that it's increasing in popularity. I look at it now as becoming familiar with it, just so that I know it's there and I know what it can do, but not necessarily do it, because I'm of the mindset that I want to know things well. So I'm focusing on Business Central architecture, Business Central development, and business processes overall. And as part of that, I have to be aware of Power Platform. I have created a few apps just for testing, nothing for professional, just for myself, just to understand some things to do and some flows. Haven't got into any chatbots. See, I keep saying I need a chatbot, and I also need something to manage my schedule.
Yeah,
That's what I need.
I will say, Rachel, even before Power Platform was out, I mean, I started really more of a Power BI, although Power BI is part of the Power Platform family. That's where I started with the word, the Power family, I guess I would say Power Platform. And so once the Power Platform came in, of course, there's different products. It was an easy transition to do Power Automate, with Business Central. Like what Brad is saying, my main focus is really more Business Central, but it is good to have standard, basic understanding of what it can do for the whole ecosystem. I did do a presentation on Power Virtual Agents, so that's been really fun, and being able to implement that. But I've never done the Power Apps. Never did really the Canvas side of things, but it is quite interesting. But that's a little bit outside of my realm. But eventually, maybe one day I'll join one of your sessions and you can teach us about Power Apps.
Oh, you have to listen to her. You have to listen to her, a girl in love with tech podcast, and then also follow her online and see what she shares. She shares some great, great
everything
content
around Microsoft technology. Just think about it. Speak about everything, not just Power Platform.
No, it's overwhelming. It's a lot. I know for my brain, it's starting to get it's overflowing with information. So, I put a piece of information in and a piece of information comes out. So I'm trying to, my brain is full after all these years. So I'm trying to keep it that way. Well, Rachel,
I think I have another question. Since we have turned it around, so I'm now the person asking questions.
Oh, you can ask.
So
yes, you are. You're asking questions.
What's the origin for Dynamics Corner podcast?
The origin of it. To be honest, why do we do it? Both Kris and I'll answer for myself. Kris, if you want to jump in, you can jump in. Both Kris and I have been in the community for some time. I've been in it working with Business Central, Navision since 1998. And over those years, I've, many people that I meet now within the community, which we need younger professionals to join as some of the older professionals, move on from the community to come into the space, as I call it. So just after years and years of working and meeting many great people and talking and learning from many different people and hearing different stories, it's just a way to kind of give back, to allow others to share their story, share their knowledge, share what they have come from, where they're going to, what they have, and just an opportunity to speak and to have a voice and to show that it is a community. Everyone is a person and everyone has a story. So in a sense, it's a way to just give back something to the community and try to bring it all closer. And to me, I also enjoy speaking with individuals of the community from all over the world, such as yourself. And through this process, I'm also learning a lot. I'm learning a lot of different cultures from different people, and even getting inspired to try to learn and do different things myself. So you can teach an old dog new tricks, as they say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where it came from for me, Kris.
Yeah, for me, yeah. I mean, I didn't go as far as back as Brad. 1998. I got into the dynamic space in 2006. Prior to that, I worked on other ERP system, and so, like what Brad said, throughout the years, I got to learn from many people that I've come across, and when Brad and I got together, I'm more of the functional side and administration side of Business Central, not so much as a developer, although I tried to get in that space, but my focus was somewhere else. And so Brad and I, when we put this podcast together, and he put it well in his explanation, is we wanted to put a platform where we can speak to all the different experiences that everyone had in the dynamic space into one place. And it also allowed us to speak to people all around the world, different cultures, and how they use Nav and Business Central. So that's what we enjoy a lot. And I remember in the early days of my career, it was hard to find content. It was always hard to find. There's a community, but it was just starting. But we wanted to put this in a way like, hey, we want to get more professionals to speak with us, and that's how we got started. And we hope that this podcast allows everybody to be part of it. Have a platform, a voice through our podcast to share their knowledge as well.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah, definitely.
That's where it came from.
Yeah,
so, and we do it for fun.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
If we do it for fun,
yes.
Just between Brad and myself, and not associated to anything, we just enjoy speaking to people like you, just hearing that human side of the professional things that we do. Like, you do a lot of stuff, we want to know about you.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
As a person. Yes. So it's fun.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah.
That's good. Okay. That's good. Well, Rachel, we thank you very much for taking the time to speak with us today. We know your time is valuable, and every minute that you spend speaking with us is a minute that you don't get back. As I always say, time is the currency of life. Once it's spent, you don't get it back. So we're both very thankful for you taking time out of your schedule to speak with us.
Thanks for interviewing us.
Thank you.
Yes, I like that. I like that.
It's good.
We have to spin it around one day,
Definitely.
Kris. We'll play an ask the host type thing. But where would someone be able to get in contact with you to learn more about you, learn more about some of the inspirational and great things that you do for the community? And
you can contact me on Twitter. My name is Richie for Love. My sister created my Twitter account for me, and she gave me that handle, Richie for Love. Then you can also contact me on LinkedIn. My name is Rachel Irabor on LinkedIn. Yeah, I'm wearing a black shirt with the white stuff, so in case if you are confused.
we will put that information in the show notes. And that Richie for Love, I did wonder when I saw that. Like, there has to be a meaning behind that, because everybody has a Twitter handle or an X handle, whatever it is. And sometimes it's, what is the story for it? At one point I was like, is that really, I will admit, at first I saw your name, and this is a true story. At one point I saw her post, and then I saw the name, and I said, is that really her, or is that someone else? Just because it was just the one time when I was viewing it, I saw the name of the Twitter account versus your name on the list, and I had to do a double take.
Yeah,
and I
that's
said,
my
that
sister.
really
She
is
created it, I think, in 2013. Yeah, she created a Twitter account for me, a Facebook account, and she named it. Yeah.
And also, we have to say, a Girl in Love with Tech podcast. If they want to hear, you have the opportunity to speak with other members of the community, which we appreciate you doing that as well. All right. Well, thank you again very much, and
Rachel,
enjoy the
thank
rest
you.
of your evening. And I am looking forward to meeting you in person in just
Same.
about 1 month's time. A little over 1 month, we will be meeting you in person. We'll have to
Yes.
say hello and have a mocktail,
Definitely.
as they call
Looking
it,
forward to
at
it.
Dynamics Con Live.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right.
Yeah,
Have a good
bye.
evening. Ciao, ciao.
Thank you, Rachel.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you, Kris, for your time for another episode of In the Dynamics Corner Chair. And thank you to our guests for participating.
Thank you, Brad, for your time. It is a wonderful episode of Dynamics Corner Chair. I would also like to thank our guests for joining us. Thank you for all of our listeners tuning in as well. You can find Brad at developerlife.com. That is DVLPRLIFE.com. And you can interact with them via Twitter, DVLPRLIFE. You can also find me at matalino.io, matalino.io. And my Twitter handle is matalino16. And you can see those links down below in the show notes. Again, thank you, everyone. Thank you, and take care.